Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is the Deep Dive. My name is Drew Creekmer. I'm the Director of Advisory Services here at Creekmer Wealth, and I'm joined, as always, by John Creekmer, our founder and Senior Wealth Advisor. And John, we're getting towards the end of the year here, towards holiday season, so I know everyone's busy, but we want to talk about a few key things to make sure people get done before the end of the year. But before we do that, John, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Are you watching anything?
I'll tell you what, Christmas movies, I have a love relationship with them until I don't. And I would say probably right now, I've kind of been, I went off of the Hallmark movies, that was the one that every year I used to watch, had the Hallmark bingo, had my card, and Stacey and I watched, even though the stories are all the same.
Oh,
But, it's, they're kind of cheesy and kind of funny, but it's kind of funny this year, though, I've kind of gravitated more toward Netflix Christmas movies and new cast and kind of a little bit different production style. And so I like those as far as my standard fare. But what I really love is I love watching the old cartoony Christmas 30-minute shows from like the 70s, almost like a claymation thing. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. Those are my favorite ones to watch every year.
oh yeah. Yeah, those are great. I remember watching those as a kid. Charlie Brown Christmas is also up
Oh,
there
yeah.
for me.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. So,
For
John,
sure.
let's go ahead and hop into it, make good use of everyone's time. So, what are some key things that everyone needs to keep in mind to get done before the end of the year? Really, guys, we have about 1 week. If there's anything that you want to get done before 12/31, you really have 1 week to get that in and process in order to have a chance. Just with the holidays and businesses being closed, the deadlines here are pretty tight. So, John, what are things that people should be double checking to make sure to get done before the end of the year?
Yeah, making a list, checking it twice. So a couple things you need to do is number one, make sure you recognize the time when you're watching this. I'm really going to say by 12/15, December the 15th, and you have some of these things done. And so that has to do with actually transitioning money out of the account. And so whether it be a charitable donation that you're giving to a charity, we have so many clients of huge appreciation in stock portfolios. If you want to give appreciated stock or appreciated funds, you want to have that request in by the 15th of the month. A great way to give every single year is through charity. If you want to make a donor advised fund contribution, you really need to make sure that those kind of donor advised funds are already open and set up. It takes a couple days to get those set up, but again, that should be done by that period of time. A Roth conversion, you really have about 3 days to get those requests in if you're going to make a Roth conversion for this year. So that's the other thing. And the last but not least, as far as to do adjust the accounts, is any of your RMD. If you're over age 73, you have a required minimum distribution from an IRA or from your 401k. You want to make sure you get that done probably before Christmas time, the 23rd or 24th of the month, just to make sure you have enough time to get those dollars out. Now, as far as putting money in, keep in mind, folks, you have till April 15th, the tax filing deadline, to make any contributions for your IRA or Roth IRA. Certain retirement plans, like a simple 401k, if you're a small business owner, you want to get that done by 12/31 also.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, guys, if you have any questions, if you're doing a Roth conversion every year, maybe you just want to double check that your RMDs are fully taken care of for the year, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. Our team on the operations side has been reaching out to folks just proactively to try to help make sure things get done. But if you're just unsure, don't hesitate to reach out to the office. We'll be more than happy to help you out with that. Now, John, let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about just where the market's at. And of our deep dive recently, we've talked about the market cycle, how bull markets last on average 18 to 24 months. And the current bull market we're in started back in October of 2022, which means where we stand today, we're in the 25th, going on the 26th month of this bull market, which historically is a bit long in the tooth. And so we love the bull market. That's great for all of our clients. There's been some great growth in investment accounts over the last 18 or so months. But John, what would people need to keep in mind just about the market cycle, where we're at, and overall what we're seeing from companies that we are currently invested in?
First of all, the phrase "long on the tooth," that's an interesting phrase. Is actually a horse phrase, and so whenever back in the day you go to buy a horse, and the person selling it would say, "Hey, this horse is only 2 years old. It's got a good production in it." The way they were able to tell whether or not that horse was a young, productive horse is look in its mouth, and as horses age, they have receding gum lines. And so, with receding gum lines, then that would say it's an older horse, and so it's long in the tooth, meaning that it's kind of past its prime. And so we look at the stock market, we know as far as in cycles that we are, goodness, in the 25th month of this current uptick. And keep in mind, folks, markets don't go up forever. Typically, they take a couple steps forward and one step back, couple steps forward and one step back. And so we're looking for a healthy pullback. Now, there's things that we look at whenever we to determine how the market's doing and where is it at in the cycle. We know that we're in the 25th month, but typically markets move up, then they slow down, move up, slow down. First, we look at the length of the runs. And so whenever you see the length of a run, typically it halves. And so we've gone into 1/2 as far as in the length, then a half again, then a half again. Right now, we're only about 2 weeks after the latest uptick. Then we look from there, we look to say, where is the market at? Where's momentum? And we've actually seen since the early part of July, we've been seeing momentum slowing down. And we measure momentum on a couple of different calculations. But broad picture, you see the momentum slowing down at the same time as the stock market is reaching new highs. Typically, that's called divergence. And typically, whenever we see that, that means that somewhere around the corner, we're going to be seeing a pullback. And typically, it's a healthy pullback. In other words, something which is needed for the market to make new highs from there. Why did the market continue to move higher even though momentum is slowing down? Well, that's typically caused whenever an event happens. And so we had an event coming up this last November of an election that typically caused the market to either go one way or the other in the short term. And we're seeing that short term move up, pushing us past the 24th month and allowing us to move higher, even though momentum is slowing down. So right now, folks, we are seeing we have healthy gains on the year. A lot of our clients have exceeded what their benchmarks are. All of our clients have, and definitely exceeding goal objectives as far as for planning. And right now, we're starting to say, let's be cautious. New dollars going in. We're going into high interest savings or high interest fixed income. We're going into buffers right now to make sure that we have protection on the downside. We're also going into some strong structured notes right now. They have some great rate of return protection on the downside, but also not giving up too much on the upside. And it's all to say right now in the market cycle, you just want to be careful with where we are at.
Yeah, I think that's a great summary. And, John, I think it's safe to say that we'd say right now the risk in the market is probably higher than the potential reward, which is why we're being cautious with folks who are contributing new dollars or doing rollovers. And we have a ton of great options and tools for our clients to take advantage of. Now, John, that said, one of the biggest risks with investing in the stock market is giving into your emotions. Fear or greed. And so we always are talking with our clients about coming back to the core, which for everyone, that is your big picture financial goals that you're all working towards achieving. And so when you think about with where we're at in the market cycle, we are seeing right now, quite honestly, some things that I would liken to a lot of greed in the market. And so what would you say people need to keep in mind about how their investments, with where they stand today and where the market cycle is, what they need to be doing to ensure they stay on track to those financial goals? And what's really the most important thing there?
Drew, you bring up two strong emotional words, fear and greed. And we know when it comes to investing, you want to take your emotions out of it. I really think that a great axiom from way back in the day that I've really held on to in my own personal life, my own personal investing, and also for our clients, is whenever people are fearful, you should be greedy. And whenever they're greedy, you should be fearful. In other words, be contrarian in your thinking. And so right now we have the market pushing higher. We have people thinking, hey, it's going to go up forever. We have this fear of missing out. And so whenever we see that, that typically is people becoming greedy. And that usually is a sign the market is going to actually go the other way. Well, how do you actually combat against those emotions? Well, you do it by putting in front of you a plan, which is tied to your core values. You put that plan in place, which gives you actionable steps to take. And then from there, you simply execute on the plan. And that's what our financial advisors do every single day, is they help people identify those core values and then set up the goal objectives tied to those core values. And then they have to say, hey, what's the investment strategy or the financial steps you should take to actually execute it? And we've seen some amazing things happen with people, Drew, over the years, long term, on accomplishing some pretty cool goal objectives.
Yeah, we have. And so, I would say in summary, bring it back to your core goals. And if you're thinking to yourself, hey, how did the last 18 to 24 months, the great growth in the market, how has that affected how I'm tracking towards my goals? That's when we would tell you, reach out to your advisor. We have some great technology tools that your advisor will be able to use to walk you through how the last 2 years have really changed maybe your progress towards those goals. And then you can talk about what we need to do looking towards the future to make sure that we stay on track to those goals. And so I strongly encourage you, if you're thinking about just big picture where you stand after this great run in the market, definitely reach out to your advisor and have a conversation there. So, John, Why don't you send us off with one last thought for the week and a couple weeks ahead, actually, as we move here further into the holiday season?
I'll tell you what, right now it's getting very busy around as far as in this season. Actually, I'm heading out to a dinner party tonight with a group and looking forward to that. But I know the calendar gets chock full with activities and with things as coming and going and trying to finish up last minute shopping and the hustle and bustle. And then all of a sudden, we kind of hurriedly get through the season. I want to encourage everybody, make sure you take some time to really build into relationship. Take some time to be kind of considering the blessings of life that you live in. Take some time to being a blessing to others, and really use this season as an opportunity to remind you of the things that are most important to you.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Well, guys, we appreciate the time. If you ever have any questions about any of the year-end stuff or just big picture stuff, reach out to our team. We love working with each and every one of you. We look forward to talking to you all soon. Have a great week.